Oh, it's wonderful that you can join everybody today. We're just giving a few more minutes for folks to join us, and we'll get started very shortly. Thanks for your patience. Oh, it's wonderful that you. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to the Envision February webinar for 2025. The year is cracking on. Thank you for joining us today. As ever, we have a packed program, and we will be running with our usual format that many of you may be familiar with. So let me just jump to the program schedule for today. I'll be doing a little bit of housekeeping, and then following that, I'm really excited to introduce to you Corina de Corina de Liu, who is a very active member of our community based in the Netherlands. She's a teacher and a counselor herself using Envision, and has some lovely stories with regards to Ally. Now, it is the month of romance, and she has a lovely story that made me smile, which she'll share with you. So I'm not going to give anything away. Um, then we go under the hood. We have actually, sorry, let me just retract the interviews with Kartik Mahaden. We have both our founders with us today, which is great, all the way from the other side of the pond. They're actually in Los Angeles today, so we have them in their morning shift. And Kartik Kannan, our CTO, will be then going under the hood to give us some really great updates. It's a very, very exciting time for us with the imminent launch of Ally on public, and many of the beta testers in this call today. And as you know, we're working hard to get this product really great to go public. We also have an update regarding the Envision glasses, as well as a sort of refresh and a makeover for our companion app, which used to be called Ally. So we're going to do that. We've got a little bit of information about events and next month's webinar, of course, and then opening up the floor for Q&As. We're going to try and do that as soon as possible today, because I know there are a lot of questions. There already are raised hands. So without further delay, I'm just going to run through the housekeeping and some shortcuts so that we can help with that. So when you're joining us, and you can ask questions. So we are streaming this webinar live as ever. We are live now on YouTube. We are also going to be bringing this to our social channels. So if you have to leave early, or there's people who think you could have missed out, don't worry. You can catch up at another time. We'll do your best to answer as many questions at the end. So if you've got them, you can do it many ways. First of all, you can actually ask them in person. So Kartik will look at the raised hands for those of you who are joining by Zoom. And if you're invited to speak, use the keystrokes to mute and unmute yourself. And the keystrokes for that, the shortcuts are Alt plus A for Windows, and then Command plus Shift plus A for Mac. Those are your shortcuts to unmute and mute yourself once you've raised your hand. You can also ask questions in the Q&A window on Zoom, and there's a raised hand function, of course, which you can use as well. On Mac, that's Option plus Y, and on Windows, Alt plus Y to raise your hand. Hope you followed all that. If you're following us on YouTube, just use the chat function, and I'll be jumping in there and picking up questions, sharing it with the team, and we'll get to that as quickly as we can. So without further delay, as I always say, I'd like to introduce Kartik Kannan, who's joining us, as I said, from Los Angeles. For those of you who are sighted, please check out the t-shirt he's wearing. It's very special. And joining him today is Corinne Delau, who's teacher and a coordinator based in the Netherlands. Some of you may have heard Corinne share her story a little bit on our podcasts. And I'm also going to give a plug for that. Please do listen in. And we also try and share these interviews and as much as we can from the webinars on the podcast. So we'll try and use that channel to be accessible. Her stories are great. So I'm going to switch off my camera and my microphone and hand over to Kartik and Corinna to share those with us. So thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Vanessa. And yeah, like you mentioned, on the other side of the pond, you're this time joining you from the US of A. Excited. We've been having some very exciting opportunities and meetings out here for the past couple of weeks, and we're going to be here for a few more weeks. We'll be also down at your CSUN if any of you are going to be around there. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting things happening overall. But for now, let's shift our focus to our special guest of the day, Corinna, who's here with me. She's going to sort of take her through a bit of her story and her experiences with Ally and Envision. Hi, Corinna. It's a pleasure having you on here.
Thank you.
Yes, how are you doing today?
Yes, fine. Thank you.
Great. So yeah, maybe just for the benefit of our audience today, could you maybe really, sort of briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Corinne de Leeuw, and I live in Apeldoorn in the Netherlands. I'm 58 years old, and since my 13th, I'm fully blind, so 100% blind. Well, then I had a lot of schools after I was blind and some jobs, but I am a teacher now in counseling, and I work for Stichting Counseling Nederland, so in the Netherlands. Yes, I have a couple of students, about 15 students at the moment, I think. And I have several ages between 25 and some are 60, so a lot of differences. And yes, that's a bit about me.
Awesome. Thanks for that. And yeah, no, super sort of nice. Of course, I know a bit more about you through the interactions we've had and and all the videos that we were making together. But I think what I'm very curious, and I think our audience would also probably want to know from your perspective is sort of like how the technology that you've interacted with has evolved, right? So maybe can you sort of walk us through a bit about your experiences with technology, and not just assistive technology, but any technology when like you started out, and how have you seen that kind of technology evolve to what we have as of today?
Yes. Well, when I was started to be blind, it was in the beginning of the 80s. So the technology was very simple. You have braille and a little bit on paper and so on, not so much on computers that weren't existing. So when the computers came, it changed a little bit for me. And it was in the years 95, 96 a little bit. There came more computers, so it changed, but it didn't really change, only a bit. I had to ask a lot of my books by asking the library for the blind in Holland to change the books into braille, or that it was spoken. It took so much time, sometimes months before a book was ready for me. And well, that was sometimes a problem for school, sometimes a problem for my work. So also my teaching, I was teaching Dutch for some ladies around the world. And it took so much time to get the books ready, to get everything okay. But then a few years ago, I got a call from a friend of mine. Did you see the Journal of 8 o'clock? Well, I didn't see it, but she said, well, there was something very interesting, and that was about Envision. I said, what's Envision? So I asked some people around me, and then I came to Optelec, and Optelec is a provider in Holland of things we as blind people need for our work, our braille displays, and so on. And they said, yes, we know Envision, but it's coming up. You have to wait a couple of months, 3, 4 months maybe. And then there's a good app and there are classes. You will be happy with it. So I waited, and then it came. Well, it was spectacular what came in my home at that moment. For I could read text instantly. I got a letter and I could read it on my own. So I didn't have to ask my husband, can you read it for me, Bet? Please, can you read it? He loved to do that, but sometimes it's nice to do it yourself. Also for my work, it's nice to do it myself. And well, then a complete journey came with Envision and all the things that happened there. So, well, a lot of things changed for me by reading things on my own. And especially, of course, with Ally or Ellie, how do you call it? Mostly I say Ally, but it doesn't matter. Well, that's amazing, really amazing what you can do with that. I'm so happy with that.
Awesome. No, yeah, like it's been quite a journey, right? I think even for us, just looking at the development of AI, even though we've been doing it for about 8 years now, like the kind of thing that was available 8 years ago and what's available now, and especially this whole AI revolution has been incredible. So yeah, but I think the most exciting part about all of this for us is that this is like so the level at which the technology is as of today, this is the worst it's ever going to be, right? It's only going to improve your life from here on out. So I think for us, that's the very exciting part of this whole thing, seeing that, hey, it's already so amazing at what it does as of today. And if you extrapolate from here to what it can do in a year, in 2 years, or in like 10 years from now, I think that kind of imagining your future is very, very exciting for us. But I would also want to allow to understand your perspective of how you see this technology evolve into the future, or maybe how you would like to see this technology evolve into the future. So let's say how you would want like a tool like Ally to help you in 5 years from now.
Yes, I must say I'm very happy with what it can do at the moment. I can read my own books with it. I can read study books with my students. I can look the pictures of my marriage day. So that is very funny because this year we are 25 years married, and it's the first time I could look at the pictures on my own. Of course, with my husband, but it was funny to do that on my own. Uh, Also, when friends of mine were over last week, I could ask Ella, can you please tell me what the clothes they are wearing? I was with a colleague last week also, and I could ask what kind of pictures are there on the wall, what kind of paintings. And that was so really exciting. And when I look to the future, sometimes I hope it will can read sheet music. For I like to play the flute, and it would be fun if it could read the sheet music for me. That would be very funny. But I think very important would be to describe the scene outside. I'm walking with a guide dog, and he knows very many things. He helps me very good. But when you see in the traffic, it's rather difficult in my place. And sometimes he also doesn't know how to go on. So when I can ask Ella, please, can you help check me what's in front of me? How can I walk on? That would be great. And I think that will develop coming years more and more. And well, I'm glad with all the things that you can do for us. And yes, it would be great to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, I think that very much so aligns with what we are thinking of as well with Ally going forward. And you'll be surprised by how many people actually ask us for the sheet music reading ability. It's we get a lot of those requests, and we have been trying to attempt at it so far, but not very successfully. But I'm confident that the way the technology is evolving now, I think we might be able to achieve that very, very soon.
Wow, that will be
From
great.
there, I do think it could be something that is now going to be a lot more achievable than it was earlier. So yeah, like really, really looking forward to that. And if we do have something like that, you will be the like the first one to have a beta of that to test.
Yeah, super.
Uh, no, I think this has been a great, big allegory. I think, yeah, like just sort of understanding the whole technology evolution from your perspective has been very insightful. Um, Before we go, is there something you would like to just inform our audience of who are probably still on the fence or still a bit apprehensive of your trying to technology, or they just get a bit intimidated with AI and all of these big terms. Is there anything that you would like to say to them, or like for people who are on the fence but are still not fully okay with trying a new technology?
Yes, I understand that a lot of people think new technology, oh, that's so difficult. And at first I thought it the same. It's so difficult, but Ella isn't difficult. It's so easy to use, and it's just like you are talking to your friend and just asking questions and you get answers. So it is so easy to use also in other languages because mostly I used the Dutch language because I'm Dutch, so that's easier. But yes, it isn't difficult to use, and I think you mustn't be afraid of trying it. And just use it and you get used to it. And every time you can use it more, just also having fun with it. Just a chat, just simply a simple chat is sometimes very nice when you're the whole day alone. It's funny to chat with ally. Uh, Playing games is also possible. I do that several times. It's funny. So yeah, don't be afraid and use AI, but always think of it's not really a person. It is technology. So sometimes it makes mistakes, but don't be angry. You can learn from it. And yeah, be happy with it.
That's a wonderful, Corinne. Thank you so much. You're for ending this on that your great note. I would request you to stick around till the end because we have a Q&A in the end. So if there are people from the
Yes.
audience who have a question, they can also directly ask you that question. Would be good if you stick around till then. But for now, I would like to thank you for your coming on and you're having a chat with us and our audience here today. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Great. And with that, I'd like to pass on the mic to Karthik Kannan, who's gonna take us a bit under the hood and talk to you a bit more about Ally. Just like a quick plug, I'm wearing our latest Ally, your t-shirts now, which are fresh off the printing press. But more on that from Karthik Kannan himself.
All right. So Ally has been evolving a lot over the past few weeks, and there's been a lot that's been going on in under the hood at Envision. And we've got close to about 10,000 people testing Ally across the world, and we've got a lot of people giving us feedback on Slack. People writing to us on support, people just talking about it on social media. So firstly, thank you so much for taking out the time to test Ally, to give us all this feedback and really just shape Ally along with the Envision team. So to all the beta testers out here, thank you so much. So that's first. So without further ado, I have a few things I wanted to talk about. The first thing that we're going to be putting out on Ally, in the next, I would say, few days, is Ally's ability to understand calendar and weather information in more detail, right? So let's say you have a calendar on your phone and you'd like Ally to have access to it, so you can ask questions like, "Hey, what am I doing next week? On Wednesday afternoon," right? And Ally would be able to give that information for you. Or if you were to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and meet somebody, tomorrow. Do I need to carry an umbrella at 11 a.m.?" And Ally would be able to look at your calendar, look where the event is happening or the meeting is happening, and just give you like an update on whether you need to carry an umbrella or not. So right, so there's a lot of things that you can do with the calendar, and it's an integration that a lot of folks have been asking for, and we're super happy to ship that to you in the coming days. Another very, very interesting feature that's on Ally that's going to come out is being able to import files into Ally as well. So just like how you were able to import a PDF or a Word document or a text file into the Envision app, you'll be able to do the same with Ally. So you'll be able to import PDFs of any size into Ally and ask questions of it and chat with it in a way. And that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks as well. And apart from that, we have a couple of other important updates. On the Envision glasses, we have now shipped the walkie-talkie mode for Ally. So it's a feature that you guys absolutely loved on the app. And just having this on the glasses makes it easier for you to go ahead and have a chat with the Ally back and forth. And we also have a couple of other updates that we'll be pushing out in the next few weeks. The big thing, though, is we're going to get Ally out of beta very, very soon. So we're going to be bringing Ally out of beta in the coming days. And I don't have an exact date for you just yet, but it's going to happen very, very soon. So far we've been on public beta and we've been letting people in, one by one and trying to keep the servers running. And now we've figured out a way to scale this to people across the world. And we're happy to put the Ally apps on the App Store and the Play Store very, very soon. So Ally coming out of beta is the next thing, is going to be a big milestone for us, and we'll have more information to share with that about you. So that's it from under the hood. Whether integrations, calendar integrations, being able to import files into Ally, and being able to have a chat with it, and Ally coming out of beta, they're all big things that you can expect from us in the coming weeks.
Oh, wow. That's pretty exciting. I think everyone at Envision is very excited of for achieving this bigger milestone. Ally, as we've been talking about it in the webinars here, has been something we've been very actively developing in beta. We have been very fortunate to have a very active group of beta. Your testers who have been offering us a lot of your feedbacks on every iteration of it. Of course, there will be always a beta of Ally, so there will be always new things that we'll keep adding to it. So the beta testing community is something that we will always have be very active. But the things about Ally that are now stable, that are working, reliably, are going to be pushed to production as soon as we finish the whole authentication flow on that. That's the big thing that we're trying to tidy up right now. Once we have that, all of you will be able to just go to the App Store or the Play Store and just start playing with Ally on your own. So stay tuned on our socials. We will be announcing it sometime in the coming days. And as soon as you see us announcing it on on the social, you have to do two things. One is you have to, of course, install Ally and do a bit of playing around with it and offer us your honest opinions and feedbacks directly. And the second thing you have to do is you need to share it with all of your other friends on a social media or personally, just so that you can you have it available everywhere and everybody can actually get their hands on it. So you're sort of like do your bit as one of our envisioners and just spread the word as soon as the Ally is out, so that as many people who can benefit from it can actually benefit from it. Just another sort of minor thing is we have um, also sort of renamed the old Ally app as a companion app so that people don't have this confusion between the two things. So the whole your app that we had earlier, where you can make a video call from the glasses to a friend or a family member, it used to be called Ally, but now that is been rebranded to Companion. And Ally is the new AI assistant that you all will have access to very, very shortly. With that, I'm going to briefly pass the mic back to Vanessa, who has some announcements about events that are going to be coming up. And after that, we should be able to jump right into the Q&A.
Hi, thanks, Kartik. And sorry to be this thing between the juicy questions and the rest. I just wanted to give another quick mention about meeting up in person. Actually, Corinna mentioned earlier to me an event that's happening almost this month, right? So March next week, my goodness, in called the CISO Beurs. This is a CISO conference in the Netherlands. So anyone from the Netherlands, and yes, we will be with Sensotech there. Please come and see us, please, please, please. And for those of you on stateside, I think I mentioned this last month, but I want to just remember again because it's coming up again next week and the week after. Are two events. One is Ally Live. This is going to be an Ally demo day with our partners at the Vista Center in California, in San Jose. They are actually on March the 7th doing a demo day where you can try out Envision glasses and Ally on the glasses, on mobile, on web. And that'll be with Kartik Cannon and the team. So please make time to go to that. And then, of course, who could not forget CSUN? And we mentioned earlier, did we mention that? Yeah, I'm sorry. Ally for CSUN. So there's going to be something really exciting within Ally where you can ask all your questions about the CSUN conference. More information on that to follow, but it's going to have a personal assistant in your pocket for the show. It's going to be very cool. That's happening on March the 10th to 14th. We're going to have a full team there. Our US sales team, Bob Syrian, Bob Rowan, and Nat is going to be there. Nat Newland, who also works a bit with Envision. And also our colleague Bagia, who is going to be there as well. So again, if you want to book a meeting, meet with the team. Two things you can do. You can go to the North State stand. That's stand 409. and go along. There's also a 10% discount on the glasses during the show. And then, of course, drop an email just to support@letsenvision.com for a meeting. But we'll be pushing lots of stuff out over socials, as you can imagine, next week. So a lot of information on that. And finally, before my time runs out, next month's webinar, that is going to be on March the 27th. We're going to look back at CSUN. We're going to hopefully have a very special guest joining us. I can't say who it is yet because I haven't had confirmation yet, but fingers crossed. And we will have a live ally. So first thoughts, first impressions. So it's going to be a good one too. So I'm going to hand back to Kartik to open up the floor. I see we got some raised hands. Kartik, there's also a couple of questions in the panel and a couple on YouTube as well.
Yes, thanks a lot, Vanessa. There's just so much to announce, and we keep forgetting because there's like so much to announce. Yeah, it's getting a bit overwhelming, which is a good thing. But yeah, like what Vanessa was mentioning, ally for your CSUN, that's super exciting. It's not like a separate ally or something. We have sort of taught your ally just all the information that's publicly available about your CSUN. So all the sessions, all the booths, all the exhibitors, all the events that's happening around it, all the information about the venue and the location. All of those are now things that Ally is aware of, right? So so if you're somebody who's attending your CSUN or is curious about your CSUN, you don't have to sort of go through the website and things like that. You can simply ask your questions to Ally, and it will be able to go ahead and give you an answer of those itself, right? So you can basically, be like, can you tell me if there are your sessions happening about AI today at your CSUN, and it will be able to give you a list of all the sessions that are happening around AI at your CSUN. Or if you're asking about where is the like the booth of Envision at CSUN, you should also be able to do that very, very easily just by asking these questions to your ally. We will be making a video about it and announcing it on our socials as well as soon as that is live. But yeah, that's actually the big your potential of Ally is that Ally has this capability of learning new things very, very easily. So we're sort of doing this as an experiment at your CSUN, but eventually it can you have a lot more information that it can hold within it going forward. With that, let me open up the floor for any of the questions that people might have. Like we mentioned, you can ask your question by raising your hand, and we'll invite you on the panel, and you can ask your questions. There is also the Q&A feature. So you can press the Q&A button and just write a question there, and we'll be able to answer it from there as well. Then there is also the option to put it into the chat if you're on YouTube. So you also can do that. With that, let me start by taking off some of the questions we have here that is put in by people already in the Q&A aspect of the app. There's a question from Zifilko who asks, how can you play games through Ally? That's very interesting, one, Zifilko, and it's very funny that you mention it because we have been actually experimenting with something like that ourselves. We did an experimentation of there being a game that you can play with Ally. And we sort of built a prototype of it. So we built prototype of 8 very simple games, like playing a trivia or playing a murder mystery or playing like a choose your own adventure. So we sort of came up with a few games that are very easy playable with Ally, and we sort of built very simple prototypes of that, and they were. They were like fairly successful in the first attempt that we did. So yeah, we should be sort of at least putting out a few of those games out soon for you to give it a try, where you can simply pick up an ally and be like, hey, I want to play a trivia game, and then what that does is it opens up like a trivia, a sort of game for you where there's a game show host who will come in and sort of walk you through a trivia game. So we'll start off with a few simple like games to begin with, but we know that it has the ability to become a more and more complex going forward. So that's something that we are super excited about. And then there is a question from Ryan who says, "Is Ally a separate app?" Yes, Ryan, the Ally is a separate app at the moment, so it's not something that's with the Envision app. We sort of did develop it as its own separate thing, so you can install it separately. As of now, it's still a beta, so you'd have to have like a beta invite for you to be able to install it. But like we said, we do intend to put it onto production soon, so it should be available for everybody to try very, very shortly. But yeah, it is a separate app than the Envision app. There's a question from like Beth who asks, how is Ally different from ChatGPT 4.0? This is a question that we get a lot about how it's different from not just ChatGPT but any AI assistant. And I think there are sort of a few things that make it different. I think the personal aspect is a big one, where Ally constantly sort of updates what it knows about you and gives you a lot more personalized information. It's a built from the ground up for accessibility. So the one of the biggest differences that just to get a little technical here is that your Ally is not just simply an assistant, but it also sort of is an agent which has access to tools that it can use to go ahead and offer you help with information that you're looking for. So for example, when you ask Ally like, hey, what is it that you're holding in my hand, then it knows that, okay, it needs to now open up the camera, it needs to take a picture of like the stuff with the camera, and then go ahead and answer the question of what you're holding it you're actually in your hand. But for example, if you hold up let's say like a menu and you be like, hey, how much is the cappuccino here, then it knows that, okay, it needs to open up the camera, but then it needs to do an OCR or the recognition of the text on the document first, and then like use an LLM to look for the answer to a question that you're asking. But if you ask your Ally about, hey, do I need to take my umbrella with me today? Then it knows that you need to do like a weather check. It'll look for the weather, it'll look for the chances of your raining, and then it'll come back and give you an answer about if it's going to rain or not. So basically, Ally has access to all of these different tools. So it has the ability to take a picture, it has the ability to do an OCR, it has the ability to do like a weather check, it has the ability to do like a web search, it has the ability to uh, access your calendar, and you can ask it a question about the calendar about like, hey, what time am I free next week for a lunch meeting? And then it can sort of look at your calendar across the next week and come back to you with an answer for that. Or it can be like, hey, what time was my appointment with the doctor? And then it can sort of look through your calendar and come back to you with an answer immediately. So that's the kind of thing that makes it pretty conversational. So think of your Ally as more of like your interface with the world. And the more tools that we keep on adding to it in the future, the more abilities it will have in the future as well. So it's conversational, it's personal, it's also ubiquitous, that it's not tied to a platform or a hardware. It's available on your phone, it's available on the glasses, it's available on the web, and we're constantly putting effort into making it available on as many different platforms as possible. So I think that's a very, very exciting aspect of Ally that you can all expect and experience. John Gassman has a question. He asks if Ally can walk me to a booth at CSUN. That is, it won't be able to like, so like like walk you in the sense, it won't be able to give you like step by step guidance, but it can sort of tell you where exactly a booth is in the location, right? Because it has access to a floor map of the CSUN. So it can sort of inform you if it's in the big hall or if it's in the small hall, like which booth is it next to, and things like that. So it can do things like that. it won't really be like an indoor like navigation tool where it sort of step by step will give you instruction. That's not something Ally is capable of, but it will be able to sort of give you information about where exactly can you find a particular booth within season. Maybe I can do a quick like a demo of Ally for season for you, just to give you an example of how it works. So let's try to do a impromptu live demo, because that always works well. So I have Ally open on my phone right now. I'm just click on this button to talk to Tom. It will load a bit, and then it will be ready for me. Hello. All right. So I can ask Tom something like, hey, like where is the Envision a booth at CSUN?
You can find the Envision booth in the exhibit hall at booth number 409. Be sure to check out the latest features of the Envision glasses and the new AI assistant, Ally. If you have any specific queries or need a demonstration, feel free to reach out to one of the Envision team members present.
Hey, can you tell me what time is the Apple accessibility your session happening?
The What's New with Apple accessibility session is scheduled for March 14th, 2025, during the 11:20 a.m. time slot. Enjoy the insights into Apple's latest accessibility features.
Cool. And what's the best place to grab a coffee when I'm at like the conference?
For a quick coffee at the conference, you can head to the Market, which is a coffee house and full-service marketplace located at the Anaheim Marriott Hotel, where the conference is held. It's a convenient option to grab a quick cup of coffee and perhaps a snack while you navigate through the event.
So that's the kind of stuff you can do. Of course, you can do a lot more than that, but I hope that gives you at least a sense of what this Ally for Season is capable of. So yeah, we'll be putting out a more videos about its capabilities shortly. But yeah, this is more of us doing a demo of how your Ally can be you offered more context about different things, and how it can you use that information to answer stuff about you. And hopefully we can replicate this with other events, with other your venues and other I would say organizations as well. So that's something that we are really, really excited to explore with Ally in the future. All right. There is a question from Scott Joffrey, who says he got to do a live demo of Ally at CSUN, so that's cool. There's a question from like Ryan, who says, how does glasses work with ChatGPT? Like Ryan, a ChatGPT is one of like the models that we sometimes use. So we don't really have like ChatGPT integration, but we have Ally, which is our own accessibility, that like focused AI assistant. So you sort of talk to your Ally, and then depending on what kind of a question that you're asking, Ally will pick and choose the best tool that is required to answer like a question that you have. So if and a chat GPT is one of the tools that it has access to, so it can sort of it can actually answer you're from a chat GPT as a tool if you have a question that can be answered by a chat GPT. So that's basically how it works. Zifilklo has a question. He says, is it possible to import a PDF, a file for analyze? Yes, that's the feature that we are currently working on. It will be pushed to beta soon. It's not yet in beta. but it's almost there, and you will be able to import a PDF or any a file into Ally as well, and just have a chat with it about it. All right, a lot of raised hands. So let me start bringing in some of those in before we go ahead further. Scott Joffrey has his hand up for a while. So, hey, Scott, how are you doing?
Hello, sorry.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. I just want to start off and thank you and the team. It was really cool doing that YouTube video for you guys where I got to demonstrate Alley. And this year has just been amazing. It's been a long journey, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to kind of share something real quick. Um, I did get to demonstrate Alley at MagFest, which is a huge music and gaming convention in Maryland, and I was on stage with someone, and I got to do a live demo, and they got to see my Luke Skywalker personality. So um, I was, it was amazing, and everyone loved it. You know, you know. But I did have a couple of questions. One question was that will there be ability to link other apps like Instagram or YouTube, for example? I would really love to see something like that. That's a possibility with an alley.
You mean in order to just share the outputs of it?
Well, so for example, like, I go into the settings and it will say like, for example, say if you guys had a thing that said like link social media apps, and you can click on that and then it gives you a list of social media apps, and then you can like link it directly. So like, for example, if I did YouTube, I would, type in my Google account so that would be able to access my YouTube and stuff so that I can edit videos if needed, if I can upload videos to Ali and it could edit for me. Because as someone who's blind, it's really hard to do by myself. And unfortunately, ChatGPT doesn't do that. And if it does, there's very little to no limits with that. So I really hope Ali could do that for me, or give me, information about me and my viewers or subscribers. Because some of these apps aren't that accessible.
Got it. Yeah, I think those are kind of things that we do intend to sort of make a possible in the future. I think Ally, especially Ally on the web as well, will be able to access your computer, your screen, so it can sort of also sort of give you insights, and also you help you use the tools that are not accessible by a default. So those are
Okay.
the kind of things that we
Yeah,
should have.
it is amazing. You know what I mean? And there's so many different possibilities within Alley. I would really love to, see that within it, and maybe some sort of like better context with kind of like with Siri and Lady A have right now. If the there's natural voices and better understanding. Because right now it kind of talks slow, so like I don't really use it much just because of that. But it is really fun using.
Yeah. Understood, Scott. Thank you so much. Appreciate like the feedback and the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'll make sure to send over the video when
Yes,
it's
please.
available.
Yes, please do, Scott. Thanks a lot. Looking forward to that. Thank you. All right. Then we're gonna bring on Rick Al Hodgkins onto the panel. Rick, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Hands up.
Hello, thanks to the team again. I have not been able to use my Envision glasses. I believe I need a new battery. Now, my Envision glasses were purchased on my behalf, and so I believe, the battery has a short life, and even though I've charged it and charged it, it's not working anymore. So I believe I need a new battery. And the updates, as soon as I get a new battery, I will be adding those updates. I practiced with the Ally around the tail end of November and December of 2024, and I was wondering, um, I only wanted to read, a whole page of something. I didn't want it to read, and I didn't want it to save what I was reading, just, whenever I want something read. But what about a new battery? I hope I don't need to upgrade the glasses, because the glasses were purchased last year.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Rick, I
and so,
think we'll have to sort of sort of inspect that your device. So I think like the best course of action would be if you if you haven't already, you should reach out to our your support team. You can just shoot them a quick email at support at letsenvision.com, and they will be able to sort of help you out in the best way possible.
okay, but with regards to the battery or with regards to having Ally read everything?
Yeah, so that's with regards to the batteries. We'll have to like inspect the device. We cannot, I cannot give you an answer without us knowing more about the device. So I
And
don't want
also, I don't
to.
live in I don't, even though I live in California, I don't live in LA or San Jose. I live up near, for those of you that which are familiar with California, you might know Sacramento is California's capital. I live up near there, and we have what's called the Society for the Blind, and that we up here would like a demonstration of these kinds of things as well.
Yeah, so
If-
we do, like a lot of things with the Society for the Blind as well. I have been up there a few times myself, but we have worked with a North State Assistive Technology, which is a distributor in the region. They have like a shop at the Sacramento Society for the Blind as well,
They
and they
have one,
do
yes.
they frequently do like demo days and things like that. So if there are people who over there who are interested in a demo, we definitely encourage them to reach out to like North State, who are our authorized
Yeah.
reseller.
How can the support team at Envision inspect my device if I'm all the way out here in the United States?
So there are a few levels of inspection, Rick. So I don't want to take up the time of that in the webinar. We sort of will first jump on a call with you and sort of walk you through a few steps, and then we'll see if there is a need for a physical inspection or not. So we have like a process for how we inspect devices, and then make a determination on what's the best way to repair or replace them as. Um, so yeah, if you could reach out to our support team, they will definitely be able to help you out on this ASAP.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Rick. And you had the other question, which was about Ally.
Um, yeah, the Ally, yes.
So could you just repeat your question?
Will it read? I don't want it to save what I had it read. I just want it to read one thing.
Got it.
Will it read the whole page? Like if I show it if I show it a page with print and pictures, will it read it? Read the whole
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. So basically, the way Ally works is it is a conversation. So you just have to ask it for doing something, and it will do exactly what you ask it, right? So you can just be like, hey, just simply read me exactly what it says on this document, and then Ally will just go ahead and read exactly sort of what it says. Or you can be like, hey, can you give me a summary of this text? Then it'll go and give you a summary of it. So you can simply ask it for things, and it will be able to like sort of do exactly what you ask it.
And also, can it and also now that it's available on the Envision glasses, can I choose the voice for it like I could on the iPhone?
Not yet. So one of the things that we're pushing out is authentication, where you can create an account of your own. So right now, there's no account creation that's happening on Ally. So it's for us very difficult to just sync your allies. But in one of the subsequent updates, you'll be able to create an account that'll be a link to your email. And then once you have that, you can sync the ally on your phone with the ally on the glasses. So all the voices, all the customization, all the personalization that you've done to your ally will be then synced across all of your devices.
All right. I was just wondering how long will that take? Maybe years or?
Oh, no, I think it's a couple of days at most. It's almost we just pushed it out to the beta already. So yeah, it's gonna be like a days that we're talking about before it becomes live.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Thanks, Ray. Yes, have a good day. Talk later. Bye. All right, let me bring on David Hendrickson. David, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Hey, Kartik, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, so I was playing with the phone, the Ally, just the other day, and I updated it, and I heard that walkie-talkie feature. Now, is that inside of Ally? How do I bring that walkie-talkie feature forward? Is it a swipe or a tap, or within Ally, or is it how do I can I make the adjustment with that walkie-talkie feature?
You mean on the glasses, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So on the glasses, if you update your glasses to the latest version, which is 2.9.4,
Yes.
we've made the walkie-talkie mode as the default mode of Ally. So when you update and you open Ally, it will already be in the walkie-talkie mode. And when you press the hinge button, it unmutes and you can ask your question. And as soon as you release the hinge button, it will again go back to mute. So that way it doesn't get accidentally interrupted with environmental noise. If it's not on a walkie-talkie mode by default, you can also switch to it by opening the context menu of Ally. So when you're on the Ally feature, if you do a two-finger single tap, it will open the context menu, and there you can toggle between the continuous mode or the walkie-talkie mode.
Yes, I did that yesterday by accident. I didn't know how I did that, so I was asking you. So I had it. It was just talking to me in a conversational mode, which I love. But and then I had it walkie-talkie mode, which I in different environments that would be handy, especially in I'll be at CSUN next week, so I look forward to seeing you guys there. And somebody talked about having Ally direct you around the facility, and they could do that. But if you're using a companion, you can't call it a companion or something like that. They can help you get you around the event. But then again, it's so loud and noisy. Sometimes it can get muffled out. When you're trying to talk to your Envision glasses and things like that. So I haven't ever Bluetooth an earbud or something like that to the device or to the with the device as well, but sometimes noise could be a big factor. So I've seen that walkie-talkie mode in Ally I could see why there is a switch for that, or where it could be needed and used, because sometimes when we're using a device, an assistive device such as the Envision glasses, that being able to get to the side and get into a not such a noisy environment to use them. It could be, like I said, there's always that factor. Because as a blind user, you still have to use your orientation mobility. So we're using a lot of different senses, and having something talking to your ear could be, like I said, sometimes you can hear it and sometimes you can't. So I'm sure you run into that yourself.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that makes a lot of sense and is very relatable. So yeah, I think that's why we sort of have made the walkie-talkie mode the default. So I think that's much easier for people to use, especially when they're in a noisy environment. And at a CSUN, you'll also have access to that Ally for a CSUN we spoke about on the glasses as well. So you should be able to simply ask your Ally about information about sessions, about the exhibitors, all of that straight from the glasses itself.
Is Envision doing a presentation this year at CSUN?
We're not doing a presentation ourselves, so we're not doing a session ourselves, but we have two your sessions that are happening that we'll be we'll be a party to. There is a session that's happening by the Lighthouse SF, where Anath from our team is on the panel, and she'll be talking about assistive technology and about Ally. And then there is a session that's happening by the Lighthouse, a Guild of New York, by Brian Awolinsky, who is the CTO, and he'll also be talking about Ally there. So we are doing those two sessions.
What days are those?
I don't know actually. Let me quickly.
They're on their itinerary. It'll say Envision.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was looking at. I downloaded they have the CSUN app. Of course, you can log to the log. I downloaded the app. You can also log through their website as well to look at the itinerary of presentations and things like that.
Yeah, let me quickly ask. Ally, actually for this information. Hey, what time is the session by the San Francisco Lighthouse happening at the CSUN?
At the CSUN 2025 conference, the San Francisco Lighthouse for the Blind and Visually Impaired is participating in a session titled Build Inclusive Talent via Community Testing in an AI World. This session is scheduled for March 12th, 2025 at 3:20 p.m. PT. If there's more you need to know, feel free to ask.
That'll be
So, yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, and David, is Vanessa jumping in here? There's also a
Yeah.
session on Wednesday as well where Brian
Okay.
Lewinsky is going to be talking as well. Again, I think with Anat and Sharon. So we're going to be featured. Ally is going to be featured on that, and that's on the 13th, I think at 3:30 p.m. But we'll be pushing out information about that in after this. So I'll follow up, and we'll all be putting out information about CSUN. We've been holding off because we want to announce this CSUN Ally, of course. So that'll be coming out in the next couple of days with the right download links.
Will Kartik Cannon be there?
Yes, he will.
Very great. Yeah, I've seen him the last couple of years. One last question. Can Ally get me to the front of the line in Starbucks when there's about 50
now,
people deep?
didn't I say, guys, that's what we should invent? Yeah.
I need to
tell you
get
what
into the line.
I believe me, I would love that. I think what it can do is it can tell you how long the line is.
I want to order ahead when I get there with that
Oh,
coffee
wouldn't that
in
be
my
great?
hand. That would be
Let's see what we
wonderful.
can do before CSUN, but no,
Uh,
I'm sure we can do that one this time. But
Cart-
try and get Kartik to buy you a coffee instead.
Kartik M, are you going to be there as well? I don't think I've ever met you.
No, I'm not going to be there.
Ah.
This time I've been there all the previous occasion, but this time I have a wedding in the family to attend. So unfortunately, that will keep me away from the season this time.
Oh, very good. Well, thank you guys for all the information. Keep up the good work. See you guys soon.
Thanks, David. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
All right. With that, we are like 4 minutes past the top of the hour. So we would bring this like webinar to a conclusion. I still see some questions in the Q&A and in YouTube chats that we have not been able to get to. We're so sorry. If there is anything that is like burning as a question that you still want answered, please reach out to us at support@letsenvision.com, and our team will respond to you at the earliest. But for now, I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time to be on this webinar with us. There's a lot of exciting things happening. As you can see, we are all very, very excited about what is brewing and what's going to be coming out over the next few days. So we thank you for your support, and we hope you will continue to show us the love that you've always been showing us as we go into the production or launch of Ally. With that, I wish you all a good day ahead, and I will see you out there. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.